Yo! Video games.
Anyways, I generally like the game. I actually didn't think the collectathon part was terrible. Like, it's not good and shouldn't be there, or at least shouldn't be there in the way it's implemented. They should have allowed you to, like, collect that shit, like, naturally if you went out of your way, so you wouldn't even have to do it, really, at the end. But it wasn't as bad as I was led to believe. I feel everyone's got an agenda against this game because it's not Metroid Prime 1. Like, it's a game that, like, not all the ideas are executed perfectly. But I think overall it's actually pretty good. Though, I think, honestly, like, the biggest fucking sin of this game, more than anything, is maybe the linearity of it. Where, like, the game isn't very much of an exploration. It's very much of a sort of... the environments are great, but they're very much kind of like you're on a guided tour. The game plays a bit like a ride. You kind of just go and see and experience things as they come at you. So, like, it's more of like a sort of guided tour of a game. But yeah, Prime 3 was also very much the same way too. And I think they kind of made the decision where it's like, okay, you can have a big confusing game, where it becomes a sort of where do I go, what do I do, and they kind of didn't really go that way with this one. They really went. I feel like they made this game very Ocarina of Time. You have your central hub. And then you have like your sort of 5 areas that you kind of go off and you do like the sort of like guided tour thing in each area. And I don't know if that really bothers me. What we had here was actually just really fun. It was just a really fun, good experience. Like this is an 8 out of 10 kind of game for me, and there's just some really dumb design decisions that really held it back from being like, you know, good, like a masterpiece. I don't even understand. Yeah, it's a fun ride. It's a fun linear ride, and I think that's fine. Because again, as we know, they still make 2D Metroids, even though I honestly feel even the 2D Metroids are getting kind of linear. Honestly, I actually like the world building that they tried to do with this game. I think I actually am okay with you know, them giving Samus her Epona and giving her Chamber of Sages, because that's what it really is. It's the Chamber of Sages and an Epona with the bike, and I'm cool with that. I think that's fine, because Prime has always been a Gaiden. You know, it's always meant to sort of be a side series or like a what if. The problem with I think the problem with games that are like sort of super maze-like or exploration-based is that you get this inherent problem where, like, if you don't fucking keep up with the game, like if you take a break for like too long a time, you let too many days pass before, you know, going back to the game, you start it up and you're like, where the fuck am I? What am I doing? And that would only compound even harder in 3D. I think it's cool. I think it's cool to just have like a sort of it would be nice if Prime wasn't so like once in a fucking generation kind of game, you know. I mean, they tried doing like a buddy shooter with Federation Force. That didn't go over well at all. You know, they did pinball. They had like their sort of multiplayer focused game with hunters. I don't know why Silex is here other than Kensuke Tanabe's obsessed with the character. Honestly, I feel rather than doing a Prime game again, which is like, hey, let's do a 3D Metroid, I honestly think they should take Metroid into frankly maybe even a different direction altogether. I think they should maybe try to make something like an action RPG, like a full genre shift with a Metroid game, you know, going forward. Something that's like maybe goes back to the original idea they wanted to do with Prime 3, which was make her a bounty hunter and have her like select bounties, go after bounties. Like something like what Prey 2 was going to be. Yeah, spice it up. It's not you know, I think if anything, this game wants to try to like do new things, and I think, you know what, maybe you should just full commit, like do like a complete genre shift where it's like we're not making a first-person adventure game anymore. Let's make like a fucking first-person RPG. Let's make our Cyberpunk. Let's make our Starfield. Let's make our Prey 2, what a Prey 2 was originally going to be. Anyone knows what was going to happen to Prey 2 before 2K fucked that all over, or Bethesda fucked that all over. The idea for the original Prey 2 was really interesting and really kind of awesome, and then, Bethesda fucked that up, and fuck that, the Human Head Studios right in the ass on that one. I think making a sort of action RPG, bounty hunting sim would be a really cool idea. You know, you could even still play as Samus. I think she should come back and talk a little bit more, rather than not at all in this game. Because this game, they're doing like the Link thing, they're doing like the Mario thing, they're doing like the big Nintendo thing where the character just doesn't talk. And I think they're obviously scared about that after fucking Other M. But I think they should go full bore into a full fucking genre shift for the next one. And I think this game kind of slightly shows a little bit of what that could be like. But I think get her a lot of dialogue. You know, you just have to just not write her like a complete asshole like in Other M. Prime fans just want Prime 1. They want Prime Run again and again, again and again and again. Again and again and again and again and again and again. That's all Prime fan, like, that's what all Metroid fans want. They just want Prime 1 again, again, again. Again, 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 again. They just want Prime 1. Prime 1, Prime 1, Prime 1, Prime 1 only. And Jetstream Dancing to Hero, I want Prime 2. But yeah, I'm just thinking of, like, you know, imagine, like, a seedy kind of junker planet, you know, and like you're Samus Aran, and you're, you know, it's still first person probably because, you know, it's retro, and, you know, America has to make everything first person. And imagine if, like, you know, you're going into the seedy planet, and you're going into like dive bars or whatever, and you're looking for info on a bounty, and you have dialogue trees and shit, and that, like, how is Samus gonna react to this? And then someone tries to get in a fucking fight, and then like you fucking turn on your suit, and like your suit turns on, and you just boom, and then you just get into a big fucking like shootout in this bar, and then, like, you know, the bounty starts to like flee and run away, and you start chasing them like through, you know, through like a seedy underbelly, and like they're trying to get away, and you can like morph ball into vents and shit and do stuff. And it's like it's not a Metroid game, it's not a Metroid structure, it's actually structured like, again, like a Cyberpunk or something, or an RPG-ish. And then like the choices you make depends on how and where you track down your bounty to. And you just go from like planet to planet to planet, you know, you go from different like habited planets to uninhabited planets to like abandoned outposts and shit like that. Where it's just like, this isn't a Prime game, this isn't like Metroid 6, it's not a numbered entry. It's like, what if we just have a Metroid game where Samus is just being a fucking bounty hunter? And it's an action RPG. Where it doesn't give you like the insanely free-form shit of like a Bethesda game, but it's more like, okay, you're a main character, like a Geralt, you know, like a Jerry from the River, where it's like he's an established character and he has dialogue trees, but Jerry from the River is Jerry from the River, you know. There's only so many different ways he can go, you know. Polish first person, no, no. I would keep this in Retro's hands, because there's many good people who could do a first-person action RPG in America, especially in Austin, Texas, where Retro is. There's a lot of, I'm almost thinking more like the talent pool that's there, and I'm like, okay, well, let's get some of the talent pool. Let's like play to their strengths, and maybe stop trying to do whatever the, you know, I actually like them trying to branch out a little more. Most people hate this game for all the things it does different from a Metroid game. I think it doesn't go far enough. I think they should have full committed to doing a completely different style of Metroid game instead of Prime 4. I think they should have ditched the Prime style almost altogether and gone for something completely different with this game. I think the game is fun. It was a surprise for me, because I was expecting this game to just be a sort of boring retread of Prime 1, just not as good, but prettier. and I got a game that took a bunch of swings. Definitely missed on a good few swings there. Took some swings, missed some balls, but I don't know. I'd rather someone try and fail than never try at all, than like sink into an endless sea of like repetitive mediocre clones that just slowly get worse and like just get less and less and less, so degrade over time and then become more and more unmemorable. Like, I don't fucking remember. I remember parts of Dread that were cool, but there's a lot of Dread I don't fucking remember of that game. And again, keep making 2D Metroids, do Metroid 6, that's 2D style, do it, whatever, it's fine, like, go ahead and do it. I'm just saying, like, I rather than trying to do, like, twists on the Prime formula, I say fucking cut Prime formula off altogether and just go make an action RPG that's about bounty hunting and dialogue trees and like upgrade, dialogue trees, skill trees, more player customization driven. I think Metroid 6 will happen. I don't know if it'll be Mercury Steam anymore, but I think Sakamoto will find someone to make a 2D Metroid. They've got Next Level Games. They've got NST if they want to do that. There are people Nintendo can use to make. Maybe Bandai Singapore could take another stab at it and make a 2D Metroid again. I don't know. If it ever goes on a spring sale or whatever, it's a good pickup for a discount.